Good evening and welcome to Prime Business. I am Emma Davis. Stabilizing the Ghana cedi, containing inflation and government expenditure. These are some of the issues that are expected to dominate discussions as Monetary Policy Committee of the Bank of Ghana began meeting this morning to review developments in the economy. They will also take decisions that will influence the cost of borrowings in the country. The meeting is expected to end Friday with an announcement on a new policy rate next Monday, March 25. The policy rate currently stands at 29% after it was cut by 100 basis points in November 2023. A little longer with the Bank of Ghana. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, is throwing a challenge to the Ghana International Bank to play a critical role in transforming trade in Africa. This is part of charges from the governor, who is also the board chairman of Ghana International Bank. Speaking at the launch of the bank's 65th anniversary celebration in Accra, Dr. Addison said the bank has already supported many business transactions on the continent, including more than $8 billion trade facilitation in 2023.
The Ghana International Bank has been established 65 years ago to support international trade financing between Ghana and other African countries and their European partners. According to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, the bank has been able to facilitate trade amounting to about $8 billion for the Ghana Cocoa Board and other state agencies in the year 2023. He therefore charged the bank to play a key role in transforming trade on the continent. He was speaking at the 65th anniversary launch of the bank in Accra.
Celebrating the 65th anniversary of GHIB is a landmark event and serves as a major milestone in the history of Ghanaian banking. And I'm pleased to share this moment of reflection. As chairman of the board and the governor of the majority shareholder of this venerable institution, I am pleased with the status of the bank and excited about its prospects. It is my sincere hope as we continue to navigate through the challenges and complexities of global financial markets, GHIB will continue to play a critical role in the transformation of trade in Africa and rise to greater heights in the coming years.
Chief Executive for the Ghana International Bank, Dean Adansi, has been speaking with journalists about the impacts the bank has created on many economies in Africa.
5 years, after 65 years of being in London, the next 65 years, we believe GHIB is poised to become much bigger and to achieve more scale and to be more consequential in trade finance across sub-Saharan Africa. So I think when people think about GHIB in the future, I'd like them to think about GHIB as a major provider of trade finance, as a major correspondent bank, and as a bank that's having an impact on the lives of people across the markets.
The bank continues to serve many African governments with trade financing between their partners.
The director of the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, Professor Peter Korte, is predicting the economy will witness a higher growth rate for the first 3 quarters of the year, but not without job creation in the agri and industry sectors. His comment is coming at a time Ghana's economy grew by 2.9% in 2023, stronger than the revised 1.5% by the Finance Ministry. Speaking to Joy Business, Professor Korte said government must be deliberate with its policy initiatives aimed at growing the economy.
All things being equal, we are likely to see higher growth rates, as we've seen in the last quarter of 2023. We're likely to see higher growth rates in the first 3 quarters and possibly the last quarter of 2024. What we cannot say for sure is the fiscal after 2024, whether we'll maintain prudent fiscal balance and therefore will not suffer the political business cycle or election business cycle as we used to in every election year. But otherwise, my expectation for 2024 is much brighter. I think we are likely to grow at a much higher pace, all things being equal.
What should the government be prioritizing based on the performances of the various sectors? What advice would you give?
I think, for me, jobs, and to enhance job creation, you need to target manufacturing, you need to target agriculture. Those are the two major sectors that, if we're able to support the value chain, we're likely to create more jobs for our citizens. So let's look at that. Government has to look at agri carefully, how it's going to support not just providing input credit, but the entire value chain, how it's going to support it with some large-scale commercial farmers to ensure that we revamp agri and grow at a much faster pace. Then and industry, manufacturing is key in terms of job creation. So what are we going to do to enhance industrial or manufacturing production? The cost of doing business is one major factor, ensuring electricity and other costs are kept within reasonable reach. We don't want to see new or higher taxes, but rather should make the existing tax handles more efficient and then allow industry to flourish.
Ghana faces the risk of delay in achieving a green economy if it continues to engage in practices that deplete the environment. This is according to preliminary findings from the Ghana Statistical Service's quest to develop a robust natural capital accounting system. Dr. Bernice Ofosu-Badu, Head of Agriculture and Environment Statistics at the Ghana Statistical Service, has been speaking to Joy Business at a stakeholder engagement in natural capital accounting. Here's more.
Natural capital accounting is a set of objective data and reporting system on elements in the natural ecosystem, such as fisheries, forest, water regulation services supplied in wastelands, and more. The formulation of a robust system is expected to boost Ghana's current natural capital accounting system and further assess the impact of major natural capital threats such as land and habitat degradation, as well as illegal mining on the country's economy. Speaking to Joy Business, Dr. Bernice Ofosu-Badu, Head of Agriculture and Environment Statistics at the Ghana Statistical Service, explained that the initiative will ensure a sustainable economy in the medium to long term.
We have a lot of these natural resources in Ghana. So for the natural capital accounting, it's like adding an account or accounting for the natural capital that we have been using. Whilst you are producing, you have to produce to make your environment sustainable. You don't produce and have a degradation of your land. You don't have to produce to have a depletion of your natural resources, so that when the future, there will be nothing for the future generation. So we are all doing this so that it can inform policies, so that if you know that there's a lot of depletion, then policies can come on board to reduce the level of depletion for our future generation.
She details the impact of some activities in the land accounting ecosystem.
For the land accounting that we have compiled, though it's not finalized, but we've realized that there are some net changes. If you look at the net changes, some are negative with respect to the ecosystem.
On her part, AC Bodakwesing, Director at the Fisheries Commission, details the benefits to the fisheries and aquaculture sector.
Once we know how much we have, then we know our contribution towards the economy, and then how much will also go and benefit the operators. Are they also doing well? Because once we know we are doing well, then we know they will also do well. But like he said, if they are decreasing, you go and you don't get it, and that goes against you. You don't have return on investment. So it's important that we know what we have and the value, and then we know that our operators are safe and the economy is also safe.
The Natural Capital Accounting for Sustainability project is spearheaded by the Ghana Statistical Service with support from the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation and the United Nations Environment Programme, World Conservation Monitoring Center.
There will be tax amnesty for all businesses come 2025. This is an assurance from Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to businesses if he wins the December 2024 elections. According to him, the country's current tax structure is not fit for purpose and wants the system to change and become more competitive like Estonia. He made this known at an engagement with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
So we are going to start with a clean slate in 2025. That is why in 2025, we are going to grant a tax amnesty to all businesses and individuals and start afresh. We are going to start a new system. It's a flat tax system. So we are going to wipe the slate clean for every individual and every business. And Ghana is going to start a new tax system, a flat tax system, as we have in Estonia. And in addition, we are going to do faceless audits. Officials should not come to businesses to do audits. The digital framework, you should have the information and audit facelessly and send whatever your audit findings are. But to prevent harassment, audits of any company cannot be more than once in 5 years unless there's a reason. Unless there's a reason.
Also at the event, the president of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Clement Osei-Amoako, appealed to the vice president to help resolve other challenges hampering the growth of businesses.
Really, it's a welcoming news for the private sector. What we have experienced over the years are even the small businesses going into GRA for taxes. Sometimes they have not even worked for so many years. And like most of them said, they just look into your face and impose some tax on you. And I saw that it was not good for the private sector in that it impedes, it doesn't allow people to freely come and pay their taxes. And so people will rather evade tax and rather than coming in and pay taxes that have been imposed on them. With a tax amnesty, who doesn't want a tax amnesty? Especially when we have come out from COVID, we have come out from a Ukraine war that has actually, and even the DDEP, that has taken most of our capital. And so if we have a tax amnesty to take us back, to prepare ourselves to pay tax, who doesn't want that? And I think that is a good news. And that is what the private sector is looking for. The GRA issue that is going to be addressed is very good. Now, if you have a digitized economy where you can sit in your office, apply your tax, make your input and get your tax paid, then that is the best. More so with the import duty on vehicles and other goods that we are importing. It also made us aware that should we import that goods, we should be able to forecast how much we are going to pay over a period of time than to bring in a good that you would have paid X amount only to find out that you are paying Y. And sometimes you have to go through demurrage and you lose even all the things that you have imported. For us as Ghanaians and for that GNCCI, we are ready to work to lift the economy up. And so whoever is ready to work with the private sector as an engine of growth and create the environment, I think that we are ready to work with him. And I believe that what we heard today is something that we will say a good news. And we only have to wait and make sure that its implementation is effective.
Away from taxes, leading brand under Unilever Ghana, Pepsodent, has reaffirmed its commitment to increase proper oral health care among citizens from a younger age. To this end, Pepsodent has joined some basic students in Accra to mark this year's Oral Health Day, which seeks to create awareness of oral health and prevention of diseases. Here's more. Pepsodent is aiming at innovative activities to reduce the concerns of oral health, which has been one of the major challenges for the younger generations. In Ghana, studies show that about 13% of middle school children suffer from dental cavities. Category manager for oral care at Unilever, Vera Buedu, has been speaking about some initiatives like the tele-dentistry.
We started this in October 2023, and what we realized is that a lot of Ghanaians had a lot of questions around cavities, mouth odor, simple questions like you saw being asked over here. You can quickly call a dentist and verify whether to use a soft toothbrush, a soft bristle toothbrush or a hard bristle toothbrush. And so far, engagement averagely, we've had across the two platforms about 3,000 Ghanaians accessing this platform on a monthly basis, and we continue to do it. Our next step for us is just to see how we can bring in more languages. Currently, our dentists can speak just English and Cree, and the next phase for it is to expand into more languages. We are looking to at least a minimum of 4 languages in Ghana. So we are getting the dentists with the support of the GDA to help us in that case.
She has therefore been speaking about the importance of the celebration and why Unilever is supporting the initiative.
So for World Oral Health Day, it's a day which we have set aside, not just for us in Pepsodent or Unilever. It's a day which was started off by the World Dental Federation, FDI, since 2007. On that particular day, this is today, 20th of March, we set aside to talk about, advocate about oral hygiene, the issues around it, the preventive mechanics we can do, advice, just to make people aware of the importance of oral hygiene as part of total health for an individual, and that's why we have set aside this day. So on this day, you notice the people who came to speak. It's not just Unilever, Pepsodent. You have people beyond Unilever. You have people from the Ghana Dental Association also taking part. You have people from government institutions. The GES is a key partner for us because we are talking to kids. They also come, and then we invite parents, students. Everybody needs to be part of this celebration so that they will be aware of the issues, matters arising around oral hygiene, issues, ways to prevent it, and the solutions which are being put forward in there.
Unilever believes that despite the natural occurrence of tooth loss during childhood, the prevalence of oral pain related to cavities and tooth decay is alarming and avoidable. Some business operators in rural communities, including mobile money vendors, are recording low sales following the recent internet blackout that hit the country. Residents and businesses at Apenamade, a village in the Etrima Imponua district of the Ashanti region, which already battles poor internet connectivity, are highly impacted by the limited internet supply. Emmanuel Bright Kweku was in the community and has filed this report.
A gathering of family and friends, not only to converse amongst themselves, but to primarily connect with the rest of the world. But one of their means to stay abreast of global and national happenings, mobile internet, is being intermittently truncated. Although they have been enduring the perennial challenges with internet and mobile connectivity, the prevailing internet blackout is biting harder. I have been here for only 2 months. The internet is really bad. Located over 50 kilometers away on the outskirts of the regional capital, Kumasi, Apenamade is a small farming community in the Chimampunya district with a population less than 1,000. This open space underneath the trees on the community's hill is the only luckiest place for internet connectivity. The internet is not really good unless you come to the school premises. For some phones, it works better, but even with that, it's not everything that is accessible. The uncomfortable living spans into businesses in the village, especially mobile transactions. Portia Brago, a mobile money vendor in the community, has had to endure the ordeal of turning away customers due to the recent poor network. She is incurring losses. I always receive transaction field notification. It is really affecting my business. I have to turn away customers all the time. Sometimes I have to roam the community before I'm able to do transactions for people. Stephen, also a vendor, is reeling under the impact. It accidentally deducts amounts from my account, making me incur losses. Some residents manage to utilize virtual private networks, but the connectivity situation in the area is not allowing a smooth experience on the app.
Not too long ago, a friend of mine being introduced to VPN, which I'm back. Sometimes because of the network in a hand.
Because the network is bad, even the VPN is not really working effectively.
Because sometimes the firm for saying come with me, I be supposed to because earlier on in the network, you see the challenges.
So while telecommunication operators in the country work around to restore full internet connectivity, residents and businesses in remote areas like Apinimadi are eagerly anticipating that they have a better experience to serve the few clients that come around for transactions. From here at Apinimadi in the Achimamponya district of the Ashanti region, my name is Emmanuel.
And here in our studios at Kokomlemle in Accra, my name is Emma Davis. That's how we end tonight on Prime Business. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. I leave you with international business.